There has never in the world of NFL been a 5th-round pick more hated and loved than a man named Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders just walked into the ESPYs looking like a man who has completely stopped worrying about what anybody thinks. After everything that happened during his rookie year, from the criticism to the quarterback controversy and all the questions about whether Cleveland really believed in him, Shedeur showed up in New York with everybody watching. And somehow, he became one of the biggest talking points of the night without even needing to say much.
It's going to be a beautiful thing either way, and on the way, Shedeur will grow, and sadly to certain people, hey, Browns media don't want to hear this, Shedeur's influence will continue to grow.
But the ESPY's appearance was only the beginning, because shortly afterward, Shedeur dropped something much more interesting. He released a short film where he controlled the message himself instead of standing in front of reporters answering their questions. The whole thing focused on blocking out outside noise and refusing to let criticism determine who he is. And considering everything that has happened between Shedeur and the Cleveland media, people immediately understood why this was getting attention.
What I would say is what I learned from everything was don't allow negativity or anything exploit your mind. So I don't see it. That's the best thing about it. I don't see it. I'm on social media, I post, I get off. So I don't consume anything negative.
Shedeur is not just fighting for a quarterback job anymore. There has been a constant battle over who gets to control his story. Too confident, too flashy, too connected to his father's name. Then came the 2025 draft and everything got louder. A quarterback once projected as an early pick fell all the way to 144. Most people expected that to break him. Instead, it made him more determined. He entered Cleveland buried in a crowded quarterback room and spent months hearing questions about when he would get his chance. That chance arrived. 1,400 yards, 7 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, 7 starts. Not perfect, but a 5th-round rookie surrounded by doubt got on an NFL field and showed enough to stay in Cleveland's quarterback conversation. Then came the Pro Bowl invitation. Suddenly, the question changed completely. Could this guy actually become the starter? Shedeur never needed the media to answer that for him. During the offseason, he kept bringing everything back to one thing: get better, keep working, control what you can control. Simple message. But in Cleveland, nothing ever stays simple for long.
See, I think the way how y'all look at things is different than how we look at things. We look at coming to practice every day, being the best player we can be as an individual and as a good teammate. Y'all look at it as like a competition. It's like that's not really nothing I'm just focused on. I'm focused on developing as a player, like doing everything, getting as comfortable as I can in the offense and the scheme.
Watson being back changes everything. He is not some random backup. Cleveland made an enormous investment in him. Every good Shedeur throw gets compared to Watson. Every mistake becomes another QB1 argument. But Shedeur has not attacked Watson or created drama. He has talked about building chemistry and kept putting in work quietly. He does not need to attack Watson to make his case. He just needs to play better than him. Here is the part nobody is talking about. The Browns eventually have to make a decision, and it will not be based on headlines. It comes down to one question: which quarterback gives Cleveland the best chance to win? Everything else is just noise until somebody answers that on the field. The ESPYs gave Shedeur one night away from the depth chart and the constant questioning. He showed up and immediately got attention. The most interesting moment was crossing paths with Myles Garrett, no longer teammates, going in completely different directions, but no bitterness, no uncomfortable energy, just 2 former teammates reconnecting while everybody watched. That moment was a quiet reminder of how fast things change in the NFL. And for Shedeur, it was also a reminder that his name has grown far bigger than whatever is happening inside Cleveland's quarterback room. That kind of attention does not find just anybody. It finds players the world is already waiting to see do something special. Shedeur could have enjoyed the ESPY attention and moved on, Instead, he made his own film and told the story on his own terms. No reporters, no filtered questions, just his message. That is impossible to separate from his first season in Cleveland. His draft position became a story. His practice reps became a story. His personality became a story. Even silence became a story. Here's the part nobody is talking about. At one point during his rookie year, he stood in front of reporters and gave them nothing they expected, and somehow that became a massive national talking point. Sometimes Shedeur can say almost nothing and still dominate the conversation. That is the kind of presence that follows very few players, and in Cleveland, it's only getting louder.
Vocally, anything to say?
How much has Joe been important to both you and Dylan in terms of your guys' development to this point?
Fast forward to 2026, and Shedeur took that idea even further. Instead of waiting for somebody else to package his story, he made his own film. Cleveland media definitely noticed. The reaction was not completely positive either. Some people understood the message. Others were not impressed. But that is exactly why the Shedeur situation keeps generating attention. He has a massive group of supporters who believe he has been judged unfairly from day one. Then there are people who think he brings the attention onto himself. Neither side is changing its mind, and that means everything he does turns into another debate. Here's the part nobody is talking about. Cleveland media is now discussing whether the Browns are actually giving Shedeur the support and opportunity he needs. That tells you how far this conversation has gone. We are no longer just talking about quarterback mechanics or practice throws. We are talking about perception, opportunity, and whether Cleveland actually sees Shedeur Sanders as part of its long-term future. And that question is only getting louder.
So I think that some of those arguments that his supporters had been making as to how the Browns did not support him organizationally as a rookie last year, I think those have been dispelled in year two. He's getting first-team reps. He's getting close to an equal number of first-team reps as Deshaun Watson. The situations are nearly identical that they're being put in when it comes to the team 11-on-11 work and things like that.
Training camp is where the talking stops. Watson wants the job, Shedeur wants the job. Sooner or later, somebody has to take the first snap. If Shedeur wins, the entire story changes overnight. The quarterback who fell to the 5th round suddenly becomes the starter in Cleveland. But if Watson wins, Shedeur faces another test. Does he stay patient, or does the conversation shift toward whether another team should give him his shot? Pressure does not make Shedeur disappear. If anything, it makes him more comfortable. The criticism followed him from college into the draft and directly into Cleveland. Every time the noise gets louder, he finds another way to stay in the conversation. The ESPYs reminded everybody how much attention he attracts, but the red carpet does not decide who becomes Cleveland's quarterback. Training camp does. If Shedeur clearly outplays Watson, the contract stops mattering. Production changes every conversation. He survived the craziest draft slide we have seen. He survived a complicated quarterback room. He survived a rookie season filled with mistakes and non-stop criticism, and somehow came out with an even bigger spotlight. Now comes the part that actually matters. Can he take the job? Because if Shedeur Sanders becomes QB1 in Cleveland after everything that has happened, there are going to be a lot of old takes that people suddenly do not want anybody finding.